In Chapter 3 of the Media Advertising textbook, we talked about legal and ethical issues. And for this video, I wanted to talk about ethical issues specifically relating to social media and how sometimes something can be totally legal to post, but it's so absolutely unethical in the eyes of the consumers that they end up having to issue apologies and it becomes a public relations nightmare, things like that. So a few examples that I have are AT&T posted a picture on 9/11 that said never forget. This was supposed to be a commemorative thing, but in many of these cases it just turned out to be a horrible mistake because of the fact that they use such a tragedy as a marketing campaign, and it just becomes really unethical to portray things like that. It was shameless marketing based upon a horrible tragic event. So the tweet by AT&T showing the phone, showing the Twin Towers, didn't go over well with the consumers. The Home Depot posted earlier, which drummer is not like the others, Seymour at College Game Day picks, and it has 2 African Americans and a monkey in the middle. However, it is a common racist slur to call African Americans monkeys or gorillas, which was news to me until I was in college. I'd never heard that. So sometimes it's very mistakenly, it's not something that everyone always knows or realizes, but you have to be very, very careful before you post something like that. London Luton Airport wanted to report, hey, we're so great, we're safe, we make you safe in snow, and they posted a picture of an airplane that had run off its tracks and was in the middle of a roadway, and unfortunately that incident had killed a small child, and so London Luton Airport had to backtrack and be like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry, this was insensitive, and it was a really careless thing. You want to find the humor in it, like, oh, we're not gonna wreck you in the snow, we're gonna keep you safe, especially around holidays, you're thinking holiday travel, but it just didn't work. It was too well known of an incident, people recognized the photo, people knew that it was bad. Companies really, really like to get into sports. So Pepsi Max created a campaign that had voodoo dolls of Cristiano Ronaldo. He is an incredible player for soccer. They had voodoo dolls of him. This particular one has him laying on train tracks. It was just completely insensitive, especially, in attacking a single player, and to have made it to the point where it got posted and they had developed this to that point is just amazing to me that no one thought, is this ethical? Is this a good ethical decision to attack another person in our campaign? Trust me, it's never a good idea. And the last one happened on September the 8th, 2014, and it was so careless, and it happens all the time on Twitter. We have hashtags on Twitter, and these hashtags range from silly and frivolous to life-changing, huge, momentous trends that, everyone's sharing. Well, on September 8th, after the NFL player abused his wife in an elevator, the trending hashtag was Why I Stayed. And Why I Stayed became a movement for people of domestic violence to share the reasons why they stayed. People saying they didn't want to be another statistic, that they thought that they deserved it, anything like that. And DiGiorno Pizza clicked on this and said, why I stayed, you had pizza. They immediately issued an apology, are sending personalized tweets out to say, I didn't read the hashtag beforehand, and it was careless, it was thoughtless, I never meant to make light of such a huge thing for so many women and so many men even. Another ethical blunder, that just constantly shows up is people not paying attention to what hashtags are for. And in media advertising, we have to understand our market, what our platform is. Is it print? Is it social media? Is it video? we have to understand who that's going to affect, and we have to understand so many connotations beyond what you might know in everyday life. You really need to be smart about what racial slurs there are, homophobic slurs, just anything that can be considered offensive needs to really be monitored. That's why ethics is so important, is because you can lose just everything because you were unethical.